So they have Jet ult. KO ult is coming up soon, so they're probably going to try to grab an orb and then just pop KO ult on site. I would guess that they're going to try to hit A this round since they also have Phoenix ult. If I'm on the other team, my thought as KO is that I know Cypher plays A. I might like knife so that trips go down, and then I'm going to pop ult, and we have a Phoenix ult. So we're essentially just going to have A site for free. If you recognize that they're coming A, play back in heaven so that your trips stay active when they come into sight, and then just have your KO in tree play off of your utility because it'll still be active. That's how I would potentially think about this round when they have all these ults coming up. Yeah. They're just like rushing A now. So you see how like you can just look at what ults they have, what utility they have, and you can just make an assessment and make an assumption that they're gonna come to a certain site because of that information. Like I had no idea they were coming there, right? But like based on their ults, it can be pretty obvious. If you're interested in free VOD reviews, check out my Discord in the description below. These will be done live on my stream every Friday. Just make sure to read the rules and requirements before submitting your VOD. All right, back to the video. So you're not really too concerned about like ranked, really. It's more about just improving as a player. So that's cool. The less you think about your rank, honestly, the better. And this kind of just helps me get an idea of like what kind of player you are and what we can talk about in terms of like improvement. Because if you're attempting to play with a team, you have to kind of think about the game a little bit differently than if you're playing solo queue, right? But you have to scrim, and there's ways to do that. There's like Discords and stuff like that where you can just like, there's in-houses, you know, you can find ways to do that. You can obviously just improve as a player in ranked solo queue. The games are going to be a lot different when you play with a 5-stack, when you play with a team. Is this game a duo queue? Oh, it's a 3-stack. Okay, cool. So my expectation is like when you're playing with teammates, the communication needs to be very good. No sugarcoating to your friends. It just makes them weaker. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. We won't sugarcoat here. We won't sugarcoat. Oh, you got a little one-way lineup. Nice. Oh, you forgot the lineup. Yeah, it's all good. In terms of, you know, these lineups, it's just Cypher is one of those agents where you have to kind of like do your homework if you want to make sure that, you know, you have these lineups ready to go. That's not necessarily like a skill issue. It's more of just a did you do your homework kind of issue, right? It's more about like, you know, when the right time to use them is. So
Cage trigger. Cage triggered.
nice shot. So one thing I want to mention here, like you hear gunshots here, right?
Cage triggered.
But to me, it sounds like they're just making noise here. You don't see any other form of utility. To me, that sounds like they're sound baiting to get your team to like over rotate. But in this situation, when you're caging here, I think you need to potentially just wait until they pass your trip, because this is an unbreakable trip, right? The only way that they can break this trip is if they use utility on it, if they use like a KO, you know, nade on it. So if they haven't even identified that your trip is here and you haven't shown them that, but I think what you need to do here is potentially save your cages for when they break the trip and then pop the cage. Now you have freedom to kind of peek out behind dice and just take the shots on them. Now your cage is up and you're going to be able to see them in the cage. The other part of this is that your KO has a good position in tree here. I would just potentially wait until they break this trip with a nade and then you pop your cage. Or even better, you just don't even pop your cage and then you wait until your KO gets contact and then you pop the cage, and then maybe they have someone playing on the outside of the cage. And it's okay if like your KO takes a fight here, because then you can just peek off of his contact and then just kill this guy nice and easy. So I think the cages were a little bit early.
Yes, this should do.
Okay, you just got a ton of info that they're all B. So I think at this point, like, yeah, you rotate. Oh, they push up into the smoke.
One enemy remaining.
Damn, your Sova's popping off right now.
Take flight. Cage triggered.
Okay, I really like that. Yo, that's a great cage right there. Yeah, nice. Nice. Really well done. Yeah, that cage is great. Playing off your Sova's drone, and he probably called for his drone, and then you cage in, and then you're able to like just look at mini map and just peek off the drone contact. So that was good. That was well done. So they have Jet ult. KO ult is coming up soon, so they're probably going to try to grab an orb and then just pop KO ult on site. I would guess that they're going to try to hit A this round, since they also have Phoenix ult. If I'm on the other team, my thought as KO is that I know Cypher plays A. I might like knife so that the KO's trips go down, and then I'm going to pop ult, and now I can take site for free, and we have a Phoenix ult. So we're essentially just going to have A site for free. If you recognize that they're coming A, you either play back in heaven so that your trips stay active when they come into site, and then just have your KO in tree play off of your utility because it'll still be active. My thought is that maybe you put your cam up here so that when they push through site this way, you can pop your cam and then just tag them. They're going to smoke door. Your KO can essentially just like spam them through the smoke. That's how I would potentially think about this round when they have all these ults coming up. Yeah. They're just like rushing A now. So you see how like you can just look at what ults they have, what utility they have, and you can just make an assessment and make an assumption that they're gonna come to a certain site because of that information. Like I had no idea they were coming there, right? But like based on their ults, it can be pretty obvious. And taking B is a little bit harder, especially with Sova playing B and him potentially spamming. So, you know, taking that orb with KO and hitting A is gonna be pretty easy.
Joke's over! You're next!
Cage triggered.
Okay, nice. I'm surprised KO didn't ult, but okay, there we go.
Ultimate is ready.
All right, and your team already like rotated over, so you know, well played. That was good that you guys like recognized it and rotated over, and now you have this nice little crossfire. Okay, so he's just kind of KO's letting his ult kind of wear out, so that's good for you guys.
Where is everyone?
Yeah, yeah. As soon as you throw that, I'd be wary of a mid lurk. I'd be careful.
Hiding.
Okay, so they're all immune.
Tag.
I think taking space here is fine, but I think you need your Sova. I don't necessarily know why Sova is like worried about B right now, because you saw all of them in A lobby, and your Sova darted mid right and got the reveal on the KO. So like obviously it seems like they're probably gonna try to go into spawn and then like route back that way. If you're walking up solo ramp here, like I think your Sova needs to help you by like holding this angle. This is a pretty dangerous walk up. They could just like, the KO could just like flash you right now and get a free pick. Maybe jump on up on the ledge here. Yeah, see? Yeah, yeah, exactly. I think taking space there is fine, but I think you need to either take space with a teammate, like you maybe call your KO or your Reyna up with you, and to play like anti-flash there, or you need to have your Sova in mid drone, or just like hold mid for you or something like that. Next time you hop up on that ledge and then walk down, and then if you get flash, you can quickly drop down, and then your teammates are there to support you. Yeah, they're coming back A now. Oof. Okay, reveal the Cypher.
I know exactly.
Last player standing. One enemy remaining.
80.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, I think you guys just gave up a little bit too much map control there. But do you see how like it kind of domino affected after you died because of that play? So just recognize that like, you know, the position that you're in could kind of like compromise the round. I would just do that same setup you did last round. Yeah, definitely.
Yes. I should get that goes there.
Okay, let me show you something real quick. So, okay, this is exactly what I'm talking about, like the first 3 seconds of the round. So you see how like Nats is placing this cam above door? This is what I'm talking about when you can place it above the choke when they're coming in sight, and then you just pop your cam, and it's so awkward for the attackers to break this cam because they have to look straight up and behind them. Cams like this are really good for defense.
Upside, you can just reveal it.
Okay, here we go. All right, so he does that unbreakable trip, and he also does a trip here when they try to go door, because like obviously they're gonna have to close the door. So if he can trip there, so I'd consider using this trip. Okay, and then he puts a cam up here, right? Just copying a setup like this can like really help you. So let's just watch this round real quick and kind of see how he plays it. Hopefully they go A. Yeah, it looks like they're going A.
Let's say.
Okay, now he's gonna play in the smoke. Yep. See that? Easy. And then he pops the cam later. He doesn't pop the cam when they first come in. He's going to go for kills, and he's going to wait for them to hit the trips first.
I have one top.
You kind of see like how he's like using his utility and like what order he's using it in. Like he's gonna go for the kill first off of the trips, and then once he gets that kill, he's gonna pop his cam to tag one and then try to get another kill while popping his cage. All these setups are about trying to use his utility to get kills, right? That was a pretty good example of like what you could potentially do. I'm sure Nats has like a ton of setups that you can just copy, right? All right, let's see how we do on attack. I almost always play lurk flank. Okay.
Wait.
Tough. I think the lurk on this round is fine. Especially on pistol round, right? If they hear a ton of footsteps in garage on pistol round, I think it's almost always the correct play to just like fast rotate. So if you're the A player, right, and your teammates like, you know, they're all B, they're probably gonna call all B, let's be honest, like in ranked. So in that case, like most of the time, they're just gonna fast rotate out mid and then go back into market and retake this way, right? As a lurker on pistol round especially, I think you need to stay here and then just like listen for the footsteps. Most likely they're not gonna just like walk all the way out this way and up. Even if they don't make any footsteps, you play here, you wait for the footsteps, and then once they like pop down onto grass, you'll hear that jump down, right? I think then you peek. I think walking down is a little bit too risky. I think that's probably the way to play it. This is a great pick because if you kill this Phoenix, now like the remaining enemy team has to be worried about you like lurking up mid. It's gonna kind of stunt their retake a little bit. I understand like your decision there. I just think that there was a little bit of a better way to go about it. You can lurk and you can flank and stuff like that, but at a certain point, it becomes a little bit too obvious, and the enemy team is going to be looking for that now. But I would just be careful about doing it every round because, you know, they could catch on pretty quick and they'll punish you for it. If you're on a full buy round and the enemy is on an eco round, lurking is probably not necessarily the best idea. Let's say you're on attack and you're lurking up cat and your team is hitting B, right? If they have an enemy playing here with like a shorty, for example, and they're just trying to get like a one and done pick, you're in essentially like a losing battle. You're in a losing fight with this person that's in cubby. You just donated them a free gun, and now they have a better chance of winning the round because they have a better gun. Lurking is a very like vibes-based, feel-oriented thing, but there are bad times to lurk, like when you're on a full buy against an eco. Okay, so you know, nice. Good kill. Yeah, you just fight trade. You saw Cypher. And you just wait here, get the pick, hold the angle. Yep, nice.
Yeah,
you ulted right here, right? And then you backed up off the angle. So what happens if the Reyna died right there? You know what I'm saying? I think if you play faster with your Reyna and you just push into tree, like your team is all fighting A, and then the KO kills both your KO and your Reyna. If you were with your Reyna right there, you could potentially just trade out the KO. I think this like lurk up mid can definitely work. I think there's a time and place. This lurk up mid is definitely good in the right situation. I think it was just a little bit of a inaccuracy, a little bit of a misplay. Jet dashed A. Yes, like, okay. He's flashed there before, so you should expect that he might do that again. I think the Reyna did play anti-flash for you, but like I don't know if there was like communication about it. All right, so now, yeah, now I'm calling my teammates over to A because they could literally just knife out rotate right now. So this is what I'm talking about. Your Sova needs to recognize that going spawn is too slow. I think the Sova just goes straight across mid. All three of you go into A together. If the Sova is like coming behind here and you want to speed up A, I think maybe play with the Reyna here and just get the kill on Jet, or at least get the trade, and then you and your Sova take A. But I think letting Reyna take the 1v1 here, I don't really like it. Think about it this way. This is a 50-50 fight for the most part, right? If Reyna dies, now Sova has to take all this space and has no idea where the Jet is, and you have no idea where the Jet is. While you're fighting these guys who are gonna like rotate this way, now the Sova has a 1v1 and you have a 1v2. So you see how that's bad? That's why my thought is like you probably have to play with a Reyna here.
Because my sleepy ninja goes away, man.
Okay, nice, good pick. Yeah, see, the Reyna just died, and now it's 2v2. So I think if you were there to trade out the Reyna, then you and your Sova just take A for free.
Oh,
Nice. Good kills though, good kills for sure. Okay, I actually like this. I think this is a good position. So if it... Oh, sheesh. Nice shot. That was really well done. Even though I disagree with leaving Reyna to A after the fact, I think you still play that very well. I think your lurking skills are good. Like, I think you have like a good handle on it and like where to kind of position to give yourself the advantage, right? So I think that's great. I think you're doing a good job of that. Strong utility setups for getting kills. Stronger cam spots. Copy nats. That's like a good place to start. Copy nats. Too slow at times on lurks or when taking space. Taking that space and controlling that space when you have all the info you need is really good. But I think at times it was a little bit slow and you were kind of like late to the party, right? You were a little bit late to some of the gunfights that were happening. Limit test your lurks and watch pros to see when lurking is optimal. Not every round. When you're playing against an organized team in like a coordinated environment, they're going to identify who the lurker is and they're going to potentially punish that. Obviously, Cypher is a great lurking agent, but I think it's also good at times to play with like your teammates. So on attack, there were times when you were in a position to trade out your teammates, but you decided to lurk instead. When your teammate, after pick happens, play with them more often than going for lurk. You need to kind of decide like when the right time to like go on that lurk is, right? Coordinate with teammates better in post plant. 2v2 play with teammate or position in a way to play off their info, like a Sova dart or something like that. So I would try to maybe like think about doing this a little bit more. Defense, do your homework. Do your homework on optimal setups and also figure out when the best time to switch sites may be. Try to figure out when the right time to play on A is and when the right time to switch to B is. And try to like really study how someone like Nats does it and when they decide to play A over B. And I think it's due to, you know, what ults they have, what their economy is, that kind of thing. So identify enemy economy, ults, and how they're going to attack based on that information. And then the other thing on defense was the win condition on retakes. What utility can you use to win the round? Cam, dart for info. So for example, best practice is something that I thought that you did really well. Lurk, positioning, and timing were pretty good. Like I think most of the time your lurk timing was good. It was slow at times, but I think for the most part, your positioning and your timing was pretty solid. Like you knew where to lurk and like where to route. Never saw panic in gunfight. Provide good info to teammates based on lurk info. I'm just gonna add this to the general part. Watch a ton of Nats VODs to learn optimal setups. Nats is an incredible lurker. He's probably one of the best lurkers in the game. He's someone you could really study and see like how often he lurks, what his lurk routing is, when he decides to go for a kill on his lurk, or when he just decides to lurk for info. Lurk timing and frequency, when to lurk for info or kill. Good luck with finding like a team to play with. Sounds like a lot of fun. Don't forget to have fun.